The guest needed something, not on the menu, not in the standard procedure, and your team member knew it. The instinct was there. The read was accurate. But without the infrastructure to act, the right response could stay undelivered. The moment passed. That moment carries a cost, not always, but felt by the guest, and remembered when they decide whether to return. Protocol exists to protect the brand, but when it stops the right judgment from happening, it becomes the barrier to the experience it was meant to protect. The solution is System 4S, Pulse of Promise. We install a framework that gives your team the confidence to act, aligned with your brand, without waiting for direction. At the center of the system is a judgment framework. 3 questions that convert uncertain calls into confident brand-aligned decisions. What promise does this moment carry? What action protects that promise? What will the guest remember from this moment? The judgment is built in. So is the confidence to use it. The Pulse of Promise translates your brand values into concrete decision criteria your team can reference in the moment. Built with your leadership before installation begins, it ensures every judgment call is measured against the same standard, regardless of shift, department, or tenure. When your team has infrastructure behind their judgment, they act, not because someone approved it, because your team already knew the answer. That is the difference between a compliant team and a team that carries your brand. When promises are kept without being asked, guests don't just notice, they remember. That memory is what brings them back, and what they tell others. The Decision Confidence Score tracks 3 dimensions: how often your team acts, how aligned those decisions are, and how guests respond. Over time, you see it in how your team moves. Fewer hesitations at the edge of a decision, fewer moments waiting for someone above them to act. Guests who don't just leave satisfied, they leave with something to come back for. That shift doesn't come from a policy update. It comes from a team that knows what the brand requires and trusts themselves to deliver it. Guests don't return because everything was perfect. They return because someone understood what the moment required and didn't hesitate. Pulse of Promise, the architecture of empowered judgment.